Lake Maracaibo, Venezuela is the lightning capital of the world, where locals know the near-daily phenomena as the never-ending storm.
The world is full of interesting things, including things that we have researched, discovered, and broken down into what they are, what they do, and how they came to be. We're smarter because of this. However, when it comes right down to it, there are just as many things that we don't know about and can't figure out just yet. So join us as we reveal to you the 8 most mysterious things science still can't explain. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Number 8. Star jelly.
We found something weird in the jungle, which is a substance, like a jelly.
Starting off, star jelly is a bit of a mystery that literally falls from the skies above, and we're not sure why. Plus, unlike rain, sleet, hail, or snow, it's gelatinous, which definitely isn't seen a lot. Now, because it's still liquid in nature, it evaporates once it's on the ground, but numerous people have seen and taken pictures of this star jelly. Some have even been fortunate enough to experience it coming down, thus adding even more to the mystery of what it is and isn't. Here's another twist though. Scientists have gotten pieces of it and studied the star jelly, but the substance doesn't contain many clues as to how it came to be, which again boggles the mind. Because of these factors, various theories have emerged about what it could be from, such as being the byproduct of frogs and toads in some way, but this has not yet been confirmed. Even the explanations of how the star jelly gets to the ground vary, which further helps enhance the mystery of this substance. One of the more interesting things though is that this is not a recent phenomenon, as the star jelly has been around since the 14th century. So how is it that we don't know more about its origins? Number 7. The Bermuda Triangle.
Legend has it that the triangle covers the seas between Miami, the island of Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, an area of 1.5 million square miles.
The Bermuda Triangle is a very large 500,000 square mile piece of water that is somehow tied to Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, which if you put 3 dots on those places and connect them, you get a triangle. One that has caused many horror stories to be born due to the weird things that are known to happen in said triangle. Most people think that the legend of the triangle is just that, a legend, a myth, a story to scare people out of going there. But here's the problem with that. There have been so many mysterious disappearances that to say it was all coincidence would be foolish and ignorant, such as the story of the USS Cyclops. In 1918, the ship set sail and was never heard from again once it entered the triangle. Many believe it sank somewhere between Barbados and Chesapeake Bay, however, no wreckage was ever found. Adding to the mystery, the Cyclops never sent out a distress signal. A massive search was done in the area of the triangle that the ship was believed to have sunk in, and not a piece of it, its 10,000 pounds of cargo, or its 300-person crew were ever found. How could such a ship with such a large crew and cargo amount just vanish, without a single trace of it being found? In 1942, 2 sister ships of the Cyclops set sail and went along the same route in the triangle, but they were also never heard from again. Then, in 1945, because of interference, a group of pilots were forced to crash their planes into the waters of the triangle. A rescue boat was sent after them, and neither the pilots nor the rescue ships were ever heard from again. And the tales only grow from there. If you want even more proof that something is going on there, the records of Christopher Columbus state that while he was there, he saw some incredible things as well, and his compasses weren't working in that area, a theme that has carried on throughout the years. The biggest problem with this mystery is belief. Some people believe in its power, others don't. Many feel it's been exaggerated by people in media, yet you can't deny that the mysteries remain. Number 6. Beacon of Maracaibo.
Just 30 kilometers in that direction is the one point on Earth with most lightning strikes.
Lightning is a common occurrence all over the world, but in Venezuela, there is lightning that virtually never stops. It's called the Beacon of Maracaibo. Every night in western Venezuela over the Catatumbo River, starting at around 7 p.m., lightning will start to strike the river and it won't stop for the next 10 hours. This storm happens between 140 to 260 days of the year and can strike around 280 times per hour. But why does it do that? Why is it so consistent and recordable? No one knows. Many theories have been hatched, but none have been proven definitively. We do know that weather conditions can affect it though, because a drought in 2010 caused the event to temporarily stop for a few months. The lightning is so powerful and visual that it can be viewed from around 250 miles away. In many ways, the Beacon of Maracaibo is a tourist destination for some, from a safe distance at least, because they want to see the never-ending lightning storm, and honestly, it's hard to blame them for that. Number 4. Before the Big Bang.
Everything in the known universe compressed into a dot smaller than an atom.
In terms of the creation of the universe, there are two main theories that fill our society. One is that we were created by a god, and the other is that we were created by a massive expansion event known as the Big Bang. Not only that though, this rapid expansion of matter and life is also the reason that the universe is expanding at a certain rate, which has been documented. And being that so many people believe in this and have some kind of proof of it, you'd think that this Big Bang theory would be foolproof, right? Except it's not, because one big question looms large over it. Quite simply, what was there before the Big Bang? Not so easy to answer that, isn't it? This is mainly because the rules of relativity in spacetime, as established by Albert Einstein, do not allow for a notion of what could have come before the Big Bang. The rules we have simply don't work in that regime, says Carlo Contaldi at Imperial College of London. Nothing makes sense anymore. That's one way to break the science books, right? Because some say that there was nothing before the Big Bang, yet that wouldn't work because something cannot be created from nothing, right? That's science. So what came before the Big Bang? The mystery continues. If you're curious, one of the reasons why it's called the Big Bang Theory is because it can't definitively be proven. Number 3. Taos Hum.
Only between 2 and 10% of people can actually hear the hum. Those who can describe it as a low-frequency, vibrating hum.
If you live in Taos, New Mexico, you'll find that there's a weird hum that can be heard by only 2% of the people who live or visit there. This is known as the Taos Hum, and it sounds a little bit different to all who hear it. This was first talked about during the 1990s, and it became so famous that the University of New Mexico actually tried to investigate it to find the source. They couldn't figure it out, not even with the incredible technological equipment that they had. Thus, it became a myth until out-of-town people suddenly started to hear the hum as well, and then it became a real mystery once again. But here's a key fact. This isn't an occurrence that's solely rooted in Taos, New Mexico. Research into this event has found places all over the world that suffer from a kind of humming noise. So thus, the new question arises, are these places connected? Are they all the same hum, just at different frequencies? Why can only certain people hear them? No one knows. Number 2, animal migration.
One of the most challenging journeys an animal can undertake is the enduring slog to a whole new habitat. Migration.
Animals have a cycle in their lives, not unlike humans. But for many, when the days get shorter and colder, animals feel the need to either hibernate or migrate. Birds choose to migrate and fly south for the winter. But here's the question. How do they know where to go? And how do they know where to come back to? This becomes even more compelling when you remember that sometimes hundreds and thousands of birds are doing this and going many miles without getting lost. How are they able to pull that off? The mysteries of migration have been debated and discussed for years, because there's no real way to determine how between various bird species. Some think it might be a memory, but is it really that simple? Some think they're able to detect the magnetic field of the Earth and guide themselves through that, but how did they learn that ability? And how is it found in all the bird species? Sometimes, even the simplest of mysteries can raise even more mysteries. Number 1. Raining animals.
Stories of fish falling from the sky have been told for centuries. Over 600 accounts date from this century alone.
There are a lot of things that can fall from the sky, and some of them can hurt you. But we're pretty sure that none of you want to feel something hit your head and you look and see it was an animal, and that more are raining down from above. But guess what? People have actually seen and felt the power of animals raining from the skies. You might have heard stories that spiders have rained down from the sky, and they have, but other animals that have been caught in this mind-boggling phenomena include fish, tadpoles, frogs, worms, and even snakes. Each of which have not just been well documented with video taken of the events, but it's caused many to freak out in the process. But how? How is this possible? The common theory is that a tornado or waterspout for the aquatic animals caught the creatures and eventually they rained down. The problem is that in certain cases, the water creatures have been miles inland, so nowhere near where the waterspout would have been around. Plus, the laws of gravity state that once the tornado or waterspout ended, they should have rained down, but events proved that they weren't attached to those kind of disasters. So how did they get up there? And how did they rain down in such random places? Either way, we can all agree that we never want this to happen to us, correct? So, what did you think? What did you think of these things that have stumped scientists in various ways? Can you believe some of these items or events of phenomena that still boggle the minds of smart people? Or does it make you happy to know that there's still things in the world we don't understand? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.